Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Porting Via Ports with me, Mac Merlin. Let's see, who is online today? I see a Cajoler, Samich, Alan, Sumex, and that MRL. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Tonight is our coding stream night in which I take a board that's probably not in VIA yet, and we'll move it into VIA. And in some cases, it's a board that's not even in QMK. So tonight, I'm going to show you the PCB graveyard that I am in possession of. But before we do that, let's talk about what we're drinking. Let me edit this command really quick. Here, this is a drink that has never shown up on stream before. Something I picked up at the grocery store. And yeah, let me know if you guys have seen it. It's a Jack Daniel's Southern Peach Country Cocktail. Look at that. I saw this at the grocery store today and I was like, what? What is that? What in the world? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go try it. Contains alcohol, 4.8% by volume. So yeah, it's pretty much a chick beer. Let's see how it tastes. Let's see how it tastes. Very curious myself. Looks kind of yum. It probably is kind of yum, to be honest. Just don't know if it's any good. I can't taste the alcohol. Yeah, I can't taste the alcohol at all. It just tastes like regular sweet peach tea. Huh. Okay. 4.8%. I think this was like, they're selling it for $2 each, so still cheaper than a regular peach tea that I get. So who knows? But anyway, guys, I'm going to show you the PCB graveyard that I have. Every now and then, like when people send me boards to fix or boards to port to QMK, they're like, oh, this is the prototype. So some keys may not be broken or may not be working, so just be careful. So as a result, I have a whole box. I have a whole box of dead PCBs. And keep in mind, these are only the PCBs that fit into this box. I still have TKLs and stuff that don't fit in here. See, so first and foremost, this is a KBD67 Mark II RGB V1. This is the ARM powered board that didn't have ESD protection. This is my original PCB that kept dying on me. Burgers Lotro says coffin. Yes, moment of silence. Here, let's see. Let's actually play some music so it's not so somber, right? Here. This is the coffin of PCBs, our fallen FR4 friends. Here we go. This one is a TX87L3. I believe. I honestly can't remember where most of these boards are from, but I think this was a broken PCB someone wanted me to fix. Honestly, I can't even remember. These are all like. It like ranges from kinda dead to completely dead. Let's see, what's this one? Reason why I'm going through this box is because our E6-V2 is in here somewhere. Here we go. This is a... God, I don't even know what board this is. Strange. It's got RGB underglow. And no other markings. It could possibly be a DZ60 of sorts. Who knows? And here we go. This is the PCB that I want. There we go. Exclusive E6-V2. And here's another one. Yeah, there are two E6-V2 PCBs. Let's pull them all out. Here we go. This is a Doyu 60. Doyu 60. Also dead. This one is a... I don't even know what this is. I think this might be a... Oh. I can't remember. But that's dead too. And last but not the least, we've also got... I don't know what this is. Why is it wrapped up in bubble wrap if it's dead? I have no idea. Let's see what this is. This is a... Ooh, this is a Zeal65 PCB. Oh, I remember this. This is Quakeum's boards from Top Clack. If you guys scroll all the way back to 2018 when Quakeum's built his board, for some reason he couldn't flash his PCB at all. Like, he followed all of the directions. I even sat with him and like helped him out. He could not flash the PCB. So Wilbur sent him a brand new one, and he sent me this. So yeah, PCB graveyard. I've got many more of these guys, just these are the only ones that really fit. So let's throw them back in. Throw them back in. All these dead PCBs. I should bring this to a meetup and be like, oh, I couldn't really bring my boards because, you know, airlines and stuff, but I did bring a bunch of PCBs. Better Player says good evening. Good evening to you too. There we go. Dead PCBs. Okay. So what we're doing tonight is I was searching through QMK looking for boards that could be useful in VIA, particularly those that used to be Bootmapper Client boards. And I've isolated them to exclusive E6-V2. The only issue with it is I can't remember if I have the 32U4 PCBs or the 32A PCB, so I actually have to take a look. This one is an Atmega 32A, alright, that's good. It's one PCB we like. It's this other one. This one is also an Atmega 32A. Perfect, perfect. The two types of PCBs that we need. Excellent. Excellent. So just as a little bit of background info, let's see if I can bring up the E6-V2 for everyone to see here. Alright, so the E6-V2 was a very popular 60% run by Exclusive quite a few years ago. It was so popular that there was a round 1 and round 2. The issue with it is since this is a fairly old board, the first edition still came with Bootmapper Client. So now you have this situation in which you have two Bootmapper Client boards, one for round 1, one for round 2. At the same time, you also have two native QMK boards, also for round 1 and round 2. So for people who have this board, it's been kind of difficult to figure out which firmware to flash on it. So we will hopefully make that a lot easier this time around. Check it out. Out of curiosity, out of everyone watching right now, how many of you have owned an E6-V2 or have owned an exclusive board of sorts? Burgers Latro says, looks like a YMDK 60. Oh, you must be talking about that random 60 that I found. Let's see, One Save Gaming says, I had an E6-V2 R2. Ah, okay. Yeah, they were really nice boards, just that they are a bit dated. As you can see, both versions have a mini B. See that? Okay, so this is the code regarding it. I actually wrote a majority of this, but I've forgotten what I wrote, you know. Right, round 1, QMK powered PCB options, center mount and side mount USB. Round 2, these docks are for the QMK version of the E6-V2. QMK powered were redesigned and used different ports in different switch matrix. Please use the appropriate version when making your firmware. Flashing one in place of the other can brick your PCB. Please be certain whether you have LE or OE. And for some reason I did not note how to tell, because just looking at these PCBs right now, I can't tell the difference. Let's see. Alan redeemed hydrate. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I ever take suggestions on VIA ports? Well, it depends if I can get hardware for it, you know? Like one of the requirements to get VIA JSON in is that you need to test it, right? So either I need to find hardware or I need to work with someone who's got hardware. Let's see, is there anything in the code that can give me some hints? You know what? I wonder if I'm just missing some kind of indication anywhere here. See, I see some numbers over here. Those numbers do not mean anything. Oh wait, this board has Rev 2.32 on it. Okay, Rev 2.32. Does this have any kind of rev on it? Rev 2.31, there we go. Okay, that's round 1, round 2, perfect. Okay, first things first, I'm actually gonna update this documentation so we don't screw it up. Venom Expression says yo to you as well. Let's see, LE stands for last edition, which I believe is the V2.32. 2.32 microcontroller. Oh, PCB Rev 2.32. OE is going to be Rev 2.31. Okay. Let's see, I see a couple of people followed. Dude Awesome and Professor Beats has followed. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Let's see. Update README with relevant PCB versioning. There we go. That's good. Anything else I can figure out here that will help differentiate? There's not really much else. Everything looks super identical. Oh well. Professor Beat says, you're cool. Thank you. Freedom says, me watching Merlin port TV, I have no idea what's happening. Well, at this point, I've only identified which PCB is which by reading the version number on the side of the PCB over here. This one's Rev 2.3.1 or Rev 2.31, and this one is Rev 2.32. Ooh. Ban him, indeed. There we go. Alright. Okay, what else? What else do we want to do here? I think I can talk about how to identify it. Exclusive logo up front. That's what we can say for the LE. The round 2 PCB will be labeled 2.32 on the back of the PCB on the bottom left, and will feature the exclusive logo on the front side of the PCB. There we go. That should be enough of a descriptor right there. And round 2 PCB will be labeled 2.32 on the back of the PCB on the bottom left, and will feature the exclusive logo with crown on the front side of the PCB. Like so. There we go. That should be good. Shinobi Visual says, do you do build services? Yes, I do. I'm currently booked all the way till mid-January. Shinobi Visual says, do you have any recommendations to grow build services? Advertise, 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 and also make sure you know what you're talking about. You know, what I personally can't stand is someone who advertises themselves as a builder, and then I catch them asking questions on like, you know, on like KBD fans or something, being like, hey guys, how do I solder this component? And I'm just kind of like, okay, you probably should have figured that out first before you became a builder. Mix Patelik, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You're saying, where do you go to start at the ground floor for learning about VIA QMK? Personally, it took me about 3 months to fully understand like the coding aspect behind this, and I wouldn't even say fully. I'd say I got up to like 60%, 60, 70%, started porting boards at that point, and then just got lots of feedback from people like Jack and Scully and the rest of the QMK collaborators. Let's see, we are ready to start the tutorial. Alright folks, if this is your first time tuning in, this tutorial that I'm going to be doing right now is pretty much the same as all my other porting via ports videos. It's really the same concepts applied over and over again. The only thing that changes is the PCB. So the matrix and how I make the key maps is the only thing that changes. So, you know, I also make mistakes on like every stream. So mistakes that happen here, if any, will be different from mistakes from others. But after a year and a half of doing this on stream, I like to think that I've gotten better. Maybe just a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so first things first. As you can see, the boards are already in QMK, so you don't have to worry about any of that. All we have to worry about is doing VIA. To do VIA, you have to focus on 2 repositories. You have to think about you have to do changes in the QMK repository, which is where we're at right now, and the VIA repository, which we'll talk about later. So yeah, let's start here first. Here we go. Creating or putting VIA support in is as easy as making a new key map on the QMK side. So let's start by making a new key map. What I like to do is copy an existing key map like the default one and just pasting it. Copy paste. And as you can see, VS Code is labeling it default copy. Let's rename it to something like VIA. Boom! You're almost there. Burgers Latro is anyone who can port QMK correctly while basically drunk is a legend. Why thank you. Why thank you. Alright. So yeah, so now you've got a VIA directory with the appropriate files in it, which is an identical copy to whatever your default is. So one of the rules for VIA is that you got to make the base key map simple. So let's take out all of this stuff right here. That's all the macro stuff. And via, here, let me just show you an example of via. Give you more of a, there we go. This is via working on my Hive 60 right here. Okay, so as you can see, via has 4 layers, starting with layer 0, ending with layer 3. If you do not define these in the firmware, what's going to happen is all this is going to be garbage info. So you need to initialize the memory per se. So the way you want to do that is, you know, define the extra layers. So right now we've only got layers 0 and 1 in. Let's create layers 2 and 3. Let me move my keyboard around so it's not all the way to the edge of my desk here. Woodpack says, why hi there, Merle, and hello to you too. Alright, looks like my VS Code is a little too wide. Let me shrink it up a little. There we go. There we go, much better. Okay, so what I like to do is basically just copy and paste this bottom guy right here. Whitpack subscribing for 6 months, dude. Thank you. More sub indeed. All right, we call it layer 2, and we just want to make this blank. Just want to make this completely blank. So let's do KC transparent. And let's copy it over each of these keys. Make it simple, you know. Like, if you can think of a more useful layer, then by all means put it in. But for me, I'm kind of like a simpleton when it comes to layers. I only use layers 0 and 1. And my layer 1 just has like, you know, like the function row on it. So nothing too fancy for me. So here we go. I now have a new layer called layer 2, and everything in it is KC trans. Oh, I'm seeing a couple more here. KC trans. All right. Let's just make sure before we make this new layer, let's make sure everything is good. Alright, it's compiling. So far so good. One Save Gaming says, I'm a very basic typist as well. I feel you there. Like, okay. You know, I think out of all the QMK collaborators, I might be the one with the most basic of key maps. In fact, if Drashna, one of my mods, is online right now, he'd probably be making fun of me. Because I think that guy has 16 layers. Alright, so what I'm doing here right now is creating the third and final layer, known as layer 3, and it's basically just a copy and paste of it. So now we have all 4 layers defined. And what do I mean by all 4 layers? If you go back to VIA, top left here, you'll see layer 0, 1, 2, 3. I've defined all 4 of those. So we're good, we're good, we're good. Right? So you're almost done with the QMK firmware part of VIA here. Almost done, almost done. The next thing you want to do here is here. You don't really need a README, so we can get rid of that. Like, sure, if you want to document it, that's good and all. We don't even need a config.h at this point. Well, actually, we'll see, we'll see. So the next thing we want to do is create a new file within your VIA directory. We're going to call it rules.mk. In this file, this is where the actual VIA magic happens. This is where you turn on VIA. And the incantation for that is via underscore enable equals yes. At this point, you have via enabled. But the thing with our PCBs in the market today, these guys right here, ATmega32A, ATmega32U4, these guys have very little memory on them. So you want to make sure that your firmware uses as little memory as possible. And one way to ensure that is doing LTO, which stands for link time optimization, enable equals yes. Right? And at this point, you're done. You should be done. But just to make sure you didn't miss anything, recompile your firmware, like so. And with any luck, we should be good. And boom. There we go. We now have firmware for this board. So I do want to add on a little to this. I said we may need config.h. Reason being is, as I said earlier, all these boards have very little memory on them. So in the case of a very large board, like maybe, I'd say in some cases even a TKL is too large, VIA doesn't like it. Or there's not enough space to have VIA enabled on it. So what you need to do is limit the number of layers, and it's here in config.h that you limit the number of layers from 4 to 3. I think when I ported, no, actually, when I worked with Heine to do one of his 1800 like boards, I think he was saying that he could only put it to 2 layers. So yeah, in some cases you'll have 2 layers. And most especially on boards like this here, formerly Bootmapper Client boards, these have less memory than your typical ATmega32U4. So I'm actually surprised that I didn't have to do anything there. So go right on ahead and delete that config.h file. All you need is keymap.c and rules.mk. And just because I am, wanting to double check myself, I'm going to recompile. The Skyus 256K says, oh man, a stream of Merlin on QMK. This is going to be good. Alright, it worked. It worked just fine. And since we've got 2 PCBs here, one for the round 2. Actually, this is the round 2. We'll go on right ahead and do the round 1. It's basically going to be the exact same process. So if you did not understand anything with the LEBMC, we're going to do the exact same thing for the OE. So here we go. Let's start by copying and pasting that default key map. Then we want to rename it to VIA, like so. Don't delete the config.h yet. Delete the readme though, like so. Delete the readme file. Let's go into keymap.c, remove all this macro stuff. We don't need that. And because I'm lazy, rather than redoing what I just did, I'm going to copy and paste that key map I made earlier. Here, I'm just gonna borrow this layer 2 and 3 here. A copy. I'm gonna go here. Boom. Okay. And just gonna recompile the firmware just to make sure I didn't screw anything up. And it's compiling. And that's good. Okay. So now we can go ahead and create that rules.mk file. Rules.mk, enable VIA, And link time optimization, set those both to yes. And then recompile again, see if it still works. The Skysys redeemed hydrate, thank you very much. And there we go, it compiled it just fine. So now we can go ahead and delete that config.h file, which we didn't end up needing. There we go. So now we have VIA enabled firmware for both the E6-V2 round 1 and the E6-V2 round 2, right? So even if you have firmware though, VIA will still not work until you do part 2, which is creating a VIA JSON file. So let me fix this up for you guys before we continue. Let's see. Oh yeah. Before we continue, let's actually show off what this board looks like, right? See, so this is the round 2 version. Look at that. I believe these boards went on group buy for about $300. And of course, $320. And the Founders Edition all brass was $657. And of course you've got all these extras that you can add on. But I want to see pictures. Show me pictures. Here we go, rendering. Order picture. Let's go look at order pictures. Oh, look at that. Album created in February 12, 2018. And here we go. That's the E6-V2. It got really popular because you could custom make this badge on the top right here. You could put your name on it, or you could just leave E6-V2 on it. Yeah, this was a top mount 60% board with center mount USB, and you had this thick accent piece in the middle. That. Ooh, polycarb plate. Very cool. Yeah. So if you guys have been paying attention to interest checks, especially my interest check videos, I did talk about Exclusive's newest board, the E7-V2. So there we go. Look at that. Oh look, it's still his old logo. I like this logo better than his new one. Looks like a Pandora. Well, the E6-V2 could have inspired the Pandora. Load 15 more images. See that? There we go. That's the badge I was talking about. So you got E6-V2. You could even have your name engraved on it. I think several people here in Seattle had their names engraved on it. Ooh, Nautilus. Very pretty. Pretty. Anyway, we have to get back to doing this. So let me set stuff up really quick here. Okay, here we go. So the next part of VIA, actually, why don't I do this? The next part of VIA is to actually follow their documentation, you know? So go to docs right here, and basically you want to create a JSON file, you know? And this is how VIA knows what board you've got, right? Without this file, VIA won't know. And here we go. This JSON file needs to have the following properties. It needs a name, it needs vendor and product ID, it needs lighting, it needs the matrix, the layout, yada yada yada. These are the mandatory properties. So where I like to start to make this easy is actually over here in layouts. And the way to make this is to start off on Keyboard Layout Editor. What you see here is a basic 60% layout. This is your standard one. You can generate it from the presets and all that, but make sure you've got all of the labels gone and all that, right? One thing about VIA is that they want you to color it in correctly. So let's color in the mods, one color. Let's color it in. Color, 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 color. There we go. And the accents are another color. There we go. Wave Depth gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Lenny the Leopards, Jolly Eskimo, Didi Decline, Decker T, and Carbuncle. Dudes, if you guys have a chance, make sure you tell Wave Depth. Thank you so much. Alright, so here we go. Let me, before I talk about what I'm doing, let me pre-populate them really quick. Really quick here. Okay, so I've done this mainly for illustration purposes. If you guys can see on the top left here, I've got two numbers separated by a comma. The first number is the row number, the second number is the column number, and I've just kind of like made the first one all 0, 0, 0. Second row is 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, and 4 zeros all the way down like that. These are not the right numbers, right? It's just here for illustration purposes. To find out the right numbers, you want to go back to QMK. Right here, let's start with the LE, right? In the LE, you want to look at its H file, where all of its layouts are defined. So let's look at, what's a good one here? Layout 60 ANSI. Here we go, right here. Okay, so I can see a problem here already. How can I explain this? Let me think. Okay, so all you want to pay attention to, like this whole thing here, what I'm highlighting here is what's called a layout macro. The layout macro is divided into two parts. The bottom part is the electrical matrix, and the top part is the physical matrix. So each of these keys right here, for example, K42, this stands for the key located at row 4, or row 4, column 2. That's how it's labeled, right? And then, for example, this guy right here, K65, this is the key located at row 6, column 5. And what does that mean? What does that mean? If you go all the way to config.h right here, you'll see a list here of rows and columns. So K65 is the switch that's connected to pin B6 and A5. That's what those numbers mean. But here, let me think about this a little bit. How can I best describe this? The sky is 256K. Says, dude, this is gold. You have no idea. I went through all this exactly. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is what I do all the time. Let's see. What we could do here is... Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's better just to follow this convention rather than trying to flip it in my head. So yeah. Okay, let's do that. All of these guys here, K50, K41, K42, K43, K44, basically need to take this and copy it over to the KLE. So for example, this escape key right here is K50, K41. Let's go back to the KLE right here. We said this was K50, right? So let's just call it 5, 0. And the next one is 4, 1, you know? And so that I don't have to manage 2 windows at the same time, I'm just going to keep my VS Code window on my monitor here, but only show you guys the keyboard layout editor. And I guess I'll transition between the 2 every now and then when I feel like it. Yeah, but the rest of these are 4 actually. Here we go. So it goes 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5. Ah, okay. I see what's happening. Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna write like a script to convert all of this. I never get around to doing it. Probably should. But if I did that, it would cut my stream down by like an hour. And where would my content go, right? No. Let's see, 6, 8. So once we're done with this, I can show you how the electrical matrix looks, which I think is really cool. Seven 1, 4 9, 4 8, 4 7, and 4 10. Stream me making a script. Ah, that's true. Let's see. I'd probably write the script in Ruby because I'm a Ruby dev in real life. Okay, this next row is not actually 1 0, it's 3 0. Let's do that. 3 0 goes all the way till 3 5. Easy peasy. Should try to do that with Python, yeah. What I'm doing here is a full-on manual process, but you can of course look at the raw data over here and convert that to whatever is on here, right? You could essentially take this data and convert it to this data. Six 2, 6 7. Three 9, 3 8, 3 7. 3 7 and 3 6. There we go. Haven't touched Python in a while. If it's been for a couple years, make sure you familiarize yourself with the new version of Python. Some of the syntax has changed. Some of it has changed dramatically. I myself have very limited experience with Python, but you know, when you are a dev, you tend to hear these things. You tend to hear about these things around the office, and you know. 6.6, what's next? 7.6, 7.3. 292826. Alright, we're almost done. Nuclear Monster says, would be curious to hear what Merlin thinks of the layouts after using the Gothic. I started getting used to it. Yeah, I was using it for work just yesterday. But I'm not sure how I would feel about it for extended use. I think what really gets me with the layouts like the Gothic is that you've got to use all these non-standard keys, and that doesn't really look aesthetically pleasing to me. Like, I'm very much a standard layout kind of guy here. Like I said, everything from my key maps to my layouts, it's all very standard. You know? Don't really delve too much into the other cool things that you can do with QMK. Like, not that I can't, or want to, it's just that I don't have a need for it. Like, just the other day, just for fun, I was trying to configure one of my boards for the RGB underglow to indicate my different layers, right? So I got it working. And then it was cool for about 5 minutes, and then I was just like, I'm just turning this off. You know? I think like a year or two ago, for my Doro, which is a in-switch RGB board, I got it so that the WASD was like a different color, and like it would flash a different color whenever I changed layers, and I did like a bunch of stuff to it, but that, like, after like a day worth of work, that only amused me for a good hour. And then I was like, alright, I'm turning this all off. Cheery has subscribed. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think like for me, you know, I think when it comes to like stuff like that, building it is more fun than the actual end result for me, which is probably why I do build streams. Like, I really like building keyboard, but once I've built a keyboard, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a nice board. But you know, I like in this entire community, building, like, I have gotten more joy out of building keyboards than owning keyboards. There we go. All right, we have a standard layout board right here with all the keys in place. Okay, let me go back to the group by. Let's take a look at the supported layouts. There's no diagram for supported layouts. Okay, I'm just going to assume the QMK ones. Let's go back to the firmware really quick. Let's see. Let's see, so we've got the standard layout, which we just did, and we've got the HHKB, and the Sangen. Then we got layout all to support the ISO stuff. Okay, okay. We can do that. We can do that. Okay. So once you've done this, like getting this is sufficient to fill out this part of your VIA JSON, okay? What we have here is sufficient, but we actually want to be complete. So here we go, just to give you another example of one of the strains of VIA here. Here we go, here we go. So once again, this is my Hive 60 with the Waldo 60 PCB. What we want to take care of next is this guy right here, layouts. So if you go to layouts, you've got all of these little toggle bars and drop downs. You can do split backspace, right? You can change your enter key to ANSI or ISO. You can split your left shift. You can split your right shift. You can change your bottom row, standard, split, Sangen, HHKB, all of that good stuff, right? We want to implement this in VIA next. And the way you do that is by having groups and options right here. So the way you want to do this is groups have to go in the order that you read English. So that means left to right, top to bottom. So the first group that we're going to identify is the backspace key. Let's give ourselves a little room here. Okay, let's do this. We designate groups by putting numbers in the bottom right of the key. So instead of the top left where you put the row and column, you want to go to the bottom right for the group and option. So since this is the very first group, we're going to call it group 0. And since this is the base layout, that's option 0. Just like that. And these next key for split, this is also part of the same group, so group 0, but option 1, like so. And now we need to go all the way back to QMK right here and figure out what those two keys are. So that's actually 4A, 5.2 and 4A. So that would be 5,2 and 410. There we go. You've got that. See that? 5.2, 410. The Sky 256K says you put 01 twice. That is correct. Because you want to designate that this key is part of group 0, option 1. Both these keys are in the same group and in the same option. Alright, the next key that we want to change, or the next group that we want to create, is this enter key group right here, right? So since this is the next group, it will be group 1. And since this is the base option, let's call it option 0. And now we want to add ISO enter key like so. Here. Now let's just get our colors correct here. Oh, wrong color. There we go. Let's move that to the side right here. Like so. Nuclear Monster's gotta head to dinner. Good night all. Later all. See you later, man. Right. So this is still part of the same group. This is still part of the enter group. So bottom right legend should be 1, comma, and since this is not the base layout, but another layout, It's option 1, like so. And now this is the difficult part. We have to figure out what key this is. Pardon me while I look back into QMK. Okay. Okay. This guy is 2-6. And the pipe key is 3-6. There we go. There we go. The Sky is 256K. Subscribe to Tier 1. Dude, thank you. Thank you for your support. Alright. So the next group that we want to do is the left shift. Right? Let's give ourselves a little room. Thank you for the knowledge. Dude, thank you for joining in. Okay, let's create this next one right here. Usually the left shift is the easiest. Okay. So we already have a group 0 and a group 1. This is going to be a group 2. So let's start with the base one first. Group 2 option 0. This guy is group 2 option 1. Just like that. And according to our QMK firmware, that would be one 0 and 5 3. There we go. Okay. Next group is the right shift. Okay. See, we've used group 0, 1, and 2. So this is going to be group 3, 3,0, because it's the base layout. And this new guy is going to be 3,1. And let's verify. Let's just verify it's the correct keys right here. It's 1, 8, and 5, 4. There we go. Okay. This next bit is probably going to be the more difficult layout. So I like to copy paste like so, because we will have more than one option for this. Okay. I'm going to look back into QMK. We'll see that we have an HHKB and a Sangan. Yeah, so let's just do those two bottom rows. Should be fine. Alan redeemed Hydrate. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Man of Interest is rating with a party of 21. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you for sending all of your viewers my way as I get another board into QMK here. Nebulant, long time no see. PR Cardi saying I'm sexy. Thank you, thank you. 21 Soul says 21. Cool, cool. Man of Interest says, hope you're doing awesome, man. Pacific streams are tough to get now, says Nebulant. Yeah, because you're like on the other side of the continent. Alright, for all of you guys joining in, I am putting the E6-V2 round 2 into VIA. Just because if you guys have been around for a long time, you'll know that both Bootmapper Client and QMK were both offered. So yeah, what I have here in front of you guys is round 2 Bootmapper Client PCB, round 1 Bootmapper Client PCB. Tonight, In the interest of time, we are just doing the round 2, just because I assume most people have the round 2. Here we go. And in my never-ending quest to quote-unquote put an end to Bootmapper Client, this will be another board that will bite the dust. So after tonight, we can have VIA replace Bootmapper Client on the E6-V2. So here we go. At this point, I am actually almost done. I'm just making this last layer here, or this last group right here. We've made VIA detect, or we've made VIA able to do a split backspace, ISO enter, or ANSI, split left shift and split right shift. Now we just need to get the HHKB and Sangen layouts. Nebulant says, I wonder which PCB you have in yours. As I found out today, you can actually look at your PCB and find out. The PCB with the new exclusive logo, like this, the one with the crown, that's from round 2. And to be sure, if you flip the board around, bottom left here, it says Rev 2.32. Round 1 does not have a logo. All it has is exclusive on the bottom here. And if you flip it around, you look at the bottom, right here in the bottom left, it says Rev 2.31. So yeah, 3.1 is the round 1, 3.2 is the round 2. Alright, let's get back to doing this one. Let's do Sangen. Let's do Sangen first, yeah. So Sangen means I need a 7U. Here. Nebulant says it's built up, don't recall. Dismantle and flip it over. Nebulant is so lazy. Oh, Nebulant, I am getting a kitten in the very near future. Just thought you would know since you are you are another cat person. All right, there we go. We have a Sangen bottom row. Let's say, what key should this be? 00, 01, 02, 65, 08 actually. 08, 09, and 05. 09 and 05. Okay. We've got that now. Perfect. So now we want the HHKB bottom row. Copy and paste. Okay. So here's the thing with VIA. If you want to do a blocker layout, you don't have to delete the keys. You can just click on it, and at the very bottom here, this thing called decal. Click on it. There we go. Like so. And you don't even need to put like a row or a column in them. But what we have to do now is to put the group and option number. Let's see, our last group was 3. So this bottom guy here should be group 4. Since he's the base layout, option 0. This next guy here should be group 4, because it's still the bottom row, option 1. And this last guy here for HHKB, also group 4, option 2. And as you can see, I've labeled those blockers as 4.2 as well, just so that we can tell VIA that this is part of that option. Alan Gonzaldic says, have you thought of your own emotes? Yes, I have actually. It's just taken a while to make them. Let's see. Nuclear Monster says there are a couple cool Merlins on the Discord. There are quite a few Merlins in the community. There's the Merlin who made the RetroBrite tutorial. There's a Merlin who's a PCB designer here in Seattle actually. And then there's me. And I've seen quite a few other Merlins lurking around, but they seem to be newer to the community. Okay, so at this point we have what it takes to create this guy right here. So give me a moment while I set up this new repo. Xenophobia asks, have you told the other CL Merlin that the town isn't big enough for the both of you? Staff fights. The Council of Merlins. Actually, if you guys saw my post on Instagram back when the SoCal meetup happened, there were 6 Merlins in a room. By 6 Merlins, I mean just 6 people wearing this hat. Alright, here. Almost there. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Alright. Alright folks, this is a completely different repo. The one I was in previously, which is the QMK one, is run by people like me, Xenophobia, Droshna, Yan, and quite a few other collaborators. This one right here that you're looking at is a completely different repository run by people like Wilba and Olivia. So different set of mods, different set of rules. So what we want to do here is go to exclusive. So you want to go into your source directory here, and we want to make sure that exclusive has a directory, which he does. Perfect. Good to see. And what we're going to do is we're just going to copy and paste an existing JSON, because I always mix up all of my formatting. And we're just going to name it, rename E6-V2 LEB. Ah, that's such a long name. You know what? Screw that. Screw that. We are not going to create a file there. What we're going to create is an actual directory called E6-V2. There we go. There'll be an E6-V2 directory in there, and within that directory there will be a lebmc.json. There we go. Perfect. That's the way to do it. And we're just gonna copy and paste right there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, change up a few things here. E6-V2 lebmc. Got good stuff. Let's take out the contents of the keymap property. Make sure you do it from bracket to bracket and you don't screw up. And okay, we are good to start working on this. So all this information right here, you can actually extract from QMK. And I just realized I did not do this in the firmware. Okay. So this guy right here, vendor ID and product ID, this is how VIA detects what board you've got. It looks at your vendor ID and it looks up your product ID, and if it matches something that's within VIA, it can detect it and load up all of your key maps like that. So we forgot to do this in the firmware. So let me just go back there really quick. We're gonna keep the vendor ID the same because it looks like It's all 4558, 4558, 4558. We'll keep it like that. But the product ID, let's call it E6-V2. Wait, let me think about this. No, we can't do E6-V2 because there are 4 PCBs associated with the E6-V2. 2 from round 1, 2 from round 2, all different. And ideally, we'd probably want to put QMK or VIA on all 4. So we have to come up with another product ID that's more relevant? Okay. How should I do this? How should I do this? Ooh, Sky is 256K says E6-2A. That's very good. Okay. So let's do this. Round 1 should be E6-2A should be the QMK powered one. 2B should be the Bootmapper Client one. And then round 2, which this is from, should be 2C for the QMK powered one and 2D for the Bootmapper Client one. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sky is 256K. E6-2D. 2D or not 2D? That is the question. So now let's make that same change over in QMK Firmware. Where is my Xcode? There we go. Okay. Nuclear Mantra says that's the worst pun you've ever made. Alright, we want to go to... here we go. This is the one we want to go to. And as you can see, the vendor ID and the product ID is, feed. So let's make sure this matches what we put in VIA. So that's 4558. And the product ID is E6-2D. There we go. Should be good. Okay. We're good. Oh, one more thing we need to check is the rows and columns. This is an 8x11 board. Let's do 8 and 11. Like so. Good stuff. And this labels thing right here, right? We need to edit all of that first. And let me explain something there. In VIA, you have 2 different ways to do these labels. As you can see, you've got your toggle, right? You just click on it, it's one way or the other, and you've got your drop down, right? Typically speaking, you want to do a toggle for any options that, for anything that only has 2 options, option 0 and option 1. And for anything that exceeds that, you want to do a drop down. My philosophy. Oh, the Sky is 256K says, how did you know it was 8x11? Let me show you. All right. Wait, is that the right one? No, that is not the right one. Here we go. Here. This is your config.h file, the same file where I modified the vendor ID and product ID. You can see at the bottom here, key matrix size, matrix rows and columns. There's a pound defined for their size. So this is located in your config.h. Alright, so going back to here. As I was saying, if you have 2 options, do a toggle bar. If you have more than 2 options, you want to do a drop down. My philosophy, especially when it comes to the enter key, I specifically make this a drop down, even if there's only 2 options, because I want people to make the conscious decision to pick either ANSI or ISO. You know, that's the reason why. Others may disagree with me, but that's just the way that I like to do it. So the way to do that is, here we go. Let's go back to our code, to our JSON file. Right here, see? If you want a toggle, make just one element. Like here, split backspace. This will be the label that shows up, and it'll just be a toggle bar. If you want a drop down, you want an array, right? And in the array, the first element will be the label. So far this seems correct. Looks like it's just missing a split right shift, like so. And for bottom row, we did standard, which was, and then we did Sangan, followed by HHKB, like that. All right, next up, we have to go back to the keyboard layout editor. Let's see, where did I put that? To go back to keyboard layout editor, this guy right here, this time go to raw data, and instead of copy and pasting the raw data, you actually want to download the JSON file. So once you finish downloading it, open it up. There we go, and that is your new JSON file. Take this, select the whole thing, copy and paste it into the keymap property. Save your file and you're done. But you also want to check out your work, right? Make sure everything's good and all. So go back to VIA, like this, right? Go back to VIA, click on your settings tab, and if you don't have the show design tab toggled, you know, make sure you toggle it so that you can actually go to the design tab right there. Press the load button and load up that file you just created. So let me just load it really quick. Exclusive. So once you've selected your file, as soon as you click open, and if you did this correctly, it should show up pretty nice, right? And of course, 0.8 is not a pair, because instead of doing 0,8, I did 0.8. Okay, let's go back to keyboard layout editor. Where did I screw that up? Where did I screw it up? Here, it's always easier to just edit the... No! Okay, I found the error in my ways. Let me just redo all of that. Oh man, I found another error. Okay, that should do the trick. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. What? So many. There we go. There we go. Let's say Sky says, I have a question about the groups you've defined. Is there an analog for it in the QMK code? Thinking about the automation of such a thing. No, that's not how QMK does it. Like, the way QMK does it is kind of it's done as an array, and what you label it is completely up to you. If you want to see like a more detailed explanation of this, you should check out my porting with ports video on YouTube. Alright, so we've got this, right? We've got this. Let's actually try and flash this board now. Because right now, let's see, this PCB. Let me actually look for a mini B cable, since I've largely gravitated away from that. And to be honest, as I said earlier, this is from the PCB graveyard. So who knows if this works? Who knows at all if this works? Here, let's go grab a cable. Okay, let's see, let me read. How do you restart this board or reset this board? Hold down the key located K00, commonly programmed as left control while plugging in the board. Okay, perfect. We can do this. Let's see. Do I have a little piece of wire? Where did I put my little wire? I don't think I have my wire anymore. Just gonna have to do the tweezer here. Okay, hopefully there's enough to reset it. Okay, it's flashing. If I remember correctly, that means it's in flash mode. Here. It's flashing the board. So make sure I get the path correct via flash. All right, here goes. It's compiling and it is flashing. Yeah, Bootmapper Client board takes a little bit longer to flash. Okay, and just to be sure, let's unplug, replug. Actually, let's make it dramatic. Let's bring up VIA again. And see, it's loaded. Oh, just to show you guys the matrix for this. How is this board wired? Look at how beautiful that matrix is. Here, let's see if I can make that a little bit larger. All right, okay. So now that we've got the JSON loaded, let's go to the configure tab right there. Currently it's detecting my Waldo 60. See, just for added effect, let's unplug my Waldo 60 right now. And if I did this correctly, when I plug in this board, VIA will auto detect. And as some of you know, sometimes VIA gets finicky and it takes a few unplug replugs. So let's just hope it works. Lights turn on, and boom! It auto-detected! Hooray! Okay. E6-V2 LE awesome. How is our key map? Looks like everything's in place right there. Yep. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are done. we are done with the LE-V2. And here, just to show you guys some of the powers of VIA, if you go to the lighting tab right here, let's change the color to blue. See, this is a Bootmapper Client replacement right here. Let's see, we can also do underglow effect. Let's do breathing. Breathing, what else? I think there's like a snake or something, or Knight Rider. Yeah, Knight Rider. Oh wait, Knight Rider should be red. There we go. We have another successful port of a Bootmapper Client board. As you guys know, I do have another PCB here. Unfortunately, the firmware for the LE, the round 2 PCB, will not work on the round 1 PCB. Like, you can try, but I think your like half of your matrix will be completely messed up. So yeah, don't try. Don't try. Oh yeah, here we go. Nebulant. If you're still on, hopefully you've figured out what PCB you've got, because if it happens to be this one, I'd love for you to try it. I can send you all your information. Let's see. Let's pick another color here. Let's do pink, or purple actually. Purple, and let's do snake. Snake. Whoa, that's way too fast. What the heck? You know what, let's just do rainbow. How's that rainbow? Let's change it to snake 3. There we go. Manic snake. Manic snake mode. VIA doing cable vendors a solid, increasing demand for cables with aviator connectors. I don't get it. Xenophobia says it's gradient rainbow. Cycling the hues. Ah, okay. There we go. This is manic snake mode. Oh, that's really annoying. I'm just gonna do it as breathing. There we go. That's better. Breathing mode. All right, folks. Let's see. What should I do next? I'm going to commit all my code. You guys can watch me do that. Let's do this. But for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty much done here. Okay. I realized I'm typing on a board that is not plugged in, so let me plug that in. There we go. Okay, what files did I change here? I've changed... Yep, all that stuff. Yeah, I think I'll do this second half another time, but for the time being, I will do this. Let's make sure I get the right ones. Add via key map to E6-V2 LE BMC. Boom, we're good. Then we're gonna push this over. Actually, no, I'm not gonna push it over yet because I want to get the other one done before I do this. All right, whenever I get this done, this will be pushed over to QMK. Actually, I'm just having second thoughts. Should I put it in QMK now or not? I feel like I should reach out to Nebulant and like have him try it here. I'm just gonna ask him really quick. Nebulant, wherefore art thou, Nebulant? Hey man, have you figured out what PCB you've got? There we go. I'm actually hoping he's got the V1, because if he's got the V1, then I can have better testing. Because I know a lot more people with the V2 than I do with the V1. Alright, at this point, just make sure all my stuff is at least checked in. Add new via JSON for the Bootmapper Client version of E6-V2 R2. There we go. All my stuff is checked in. That's good, that's good. And I think at this time I'm just gonna finish my drink. I'm just gonna sit here, finish my drink, and chat with you guys. There we go. Okay. For those of you who did not catch the beginning, I'm drinking a new drink that I've never tried before. This is the Jack Daniel's Southern Peach Country Cocktails. Picked this up at my local Fred Meyer for $2. It's funny, it's only 4.8% alcohol, but I can't taste it. Can't taste it at all. I was hoping for like a hit of whiskey, but nope. It tastes just like a regular peach tea, iced peach tea. Can't taste the alcohol at all. Yeah, they had quite a few flavors. They like had a lemonade, southern peach. They had a watermelon one. They had a, what else? Can't remember. Nuclear Monster says, is the fry still there? The building and the company is still there, but when you go into Fry's, it's like completely empty. Like the last time I went in was about a month and a half ago. Laptop section was empty, desktop section was empty, desktop parts were all empty, camera section was all empty. The only thing that was still relatively full was the monitor section, but everything else was gone. Like they had 3 mechanical keyboards on like display, but other than that, it's all gone. So I can imagine that this time, you know, a month and a half later, it's probably gone. Yeah, I have no idea what like happened with them. Sounds like a nice drink. Is the drink sweet? Yes, it is very sweet actually. It's probably, let's see, does it tell me how much grams of sugar it's got anywhere here? There are no specs, unfortunately. But yeah, I'd say it's a little sweeter than a regular peach tea. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I just can't taste the alcohol, which might be a bad thing. Nuclear Monster says, I know Fry's is closed in California, but they're turning it into a warehouse for online sales. The Sky says, when you drink, you don't need specs. I agree with you. You might try it out. Yeah, check it out. I have no idea if this will be available at your local grocery store. I did find it at Fred Meyer. Glad Merlin is drinking something without milk. I was actually thinking of drinking like eggnog tonight, spiked eggnog that I picked up from Costco, but I was like, it's a little too heavy for me. Yeah, we'll see. I think next time I might just try and make my own Southern Peach drink, because this is kind of disappointing, to be honest. There's no like kick to it. It's just there's no kick at all. The Sky says, too early for eggnog. Really? Let's see. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away. Oh, Nebulant just replied. He says, not yet. I went to bed. I can check in the morning. All right. I think that's the end. That's the end of it. just saying, all right, thanks, man. Too early. A better player has a unhappy face on it. Why? Why are you unhappy? D Nasty says, is Merlin the type of dude who puts up Christmas trees before Thanksgiving? So here's the thing. I am ethnically Filipino, and in the Philippines, as soon as you hit September, people start putting up Christmas decorations all over the place. Since I was born and raised in Taiwan, that's not something that my family actually did. And my family, my wife and I, probably put up Christmas decks maybe like a week before Christmas. That's what we do here. Though since we will be getting a cat soon, I'm not sure if we'll be putting up any decorations. We don't know how the cat will react to it. The Sky is 256K says, that's so early, milking that holiday. Well, think about it this way. This is something that I learned recently, that Christmas decorations can be expensive. A tree without decorations costs like 70 bucks, right? If you want to get your house festive for the holidays, it's like people can't just drop 500 bucks just to do it, right? Sometimes people need to buy it slowly. So if you start early, like September, it allows you to like save up money and put up decorations in time for Christmas. So that's the way that I see it. See, the Sky says, milking that holiday. Wouldn't the tree dry out before Christmas comes along? It depends. Sumek says, I do that too. Normally do it a week before Christmas, but it stays there for 4 or 5 weeks long because it's too lazy to take it down. We are the same way. I think the last Christmas tree that we had, we didn't get rid of it until like the 3rd week of January. D Nasty says, I like the porting stream, pretty chill. Well, it's mainly just me drinking, you know? It's just me drinking. Some porting streams take longer because PCBs get fairly complicated, fairly complex. I think my longest porting stream was like from 7:30 p.m. all the way to like 10:30, and that one was just terrible. The Sky says, spends more time up after Christmas than before. Okay, so here's the thing. Usually we get our Christmas trees from like Home Depot or like Whole Foods or like something like that, or like a Christmas tree farm, right? It's so much effort to like pick one, tie it to the roof of your car, and then bring it home. And then it's even more effort just to throw it out, right? So if you're lucky, sometimes there's like a local Boy Scout group or something, and they come and knock on your door saying, hey, for a small donation, would you like us to throw away your Christmas tree? And I'm like, awesome. But more often than not, there's no service like that, so you actually have to call around and bring the tree yourself. Yeah, this year we probably won't have a tree. Not sure. Maybe. We'll see how the cat likes it. Yeah, we've got an artificial tree as well. Yeah, we found it at Target. It was originally like a $400 tree, but we picked it up for $120 because of some special sale or something. The Sky says, in Canada, you just leave it at the street. There's a service that picks them up. That would be really awesome. Yeah, we don't have that here, or none that I have found. The cat might love ornaments. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. But yeah, I've got, let's see, today is Tuesday, November 17th. Let's look at my calendar here. We are approximately 2 weeks till Cat Day. So yeah. We'll see. I think the cat might come on December 5th, so I probably can't stream that day. Yeah, we still have to figure out if we're going down to like pick the cat up or if they're coming up to deliver the cat. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Thanksgiving is next week. Cat week is the following week. ShibTrex has subscribed. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you're just joining in, we're pretty much at the end of the stream. I'm just trying to finish my drink here before I end this, you know? Do you know which one you like yet? Is it Bunny? I think I might go for the super chill one just because this is my first cat. So having a cat that's more chill, more friendly, and like easier to pick up might do us good. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Both of them are exceptionally cute, so I'm sure I'll be happy with like either. Not Connor says yo to you as well. Yeah, we'll see. You should get cats like Teha types. I think we'll stick with one cat for now, especially since I'm going for like a hypoallergenic cat. Those cats can get fairly pricey. Which cat has adopted your family though? Both of them were like really chill. We were able to pick them both up. But the bunny one, the one that seemed to like my wife a lot was like, you could pick her up, but she'd only stay still for like 30 seconds. And then she'd like run away and like hop all around you. Whereas Bianca, the really chill one, you'd pick them up and she'd just stay with you for like as long as you held them. Which is kind of like more my speed, I guess. I want a cat which I can like potentially put on my lap while I'm doing the stream. And just have the cat stay there and not do anything else. I think I'm down to just a little bit more. Yeah, 4.8%. This might be the drink with the least alcohol content I've ever drank on a Porting with Port stream. Do we get a cat cam when you bring the cat home? Possibly. Like, I don't exactly have a very large space here, but we'll try. We'll try. We'll try. I do have extra cameras. We'll see. Yeah, I have to somehow cat-proof this place. Maybe tie my wires a bit better. I have an iron 165 bed for it. Yeah, I guess I could have the iron be its bed. Maybe the cat will sit next to the keyboard staff. Oh. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. This is a Siberian cat, so it will grow up to about 17 pounds. The cats that we played with were the kittens, and we got to see some of their parents and like older brothers and sisters. Like a 1-year-old Siberian is probably the size of probably like an 1800 plus the 40%. That's how long that one was. The Sky is 256K says cat wrist rest. Yeah, probably if the cat wants to sit still here. We'll see. You guys will see. You guys will see. But if the cat really does come on a Saturday, which it most likely will, I will most likely not have a stream that day. Just because I want to spend all my time with the cat. Alright, I think I'm down to the last gulp here. So guys, thank you so much for joining in on this stream. Hopefully that was fairly clear and concise. If you guys see any boards that could use some viification, definitely try the same procedure on them. I would highly suggest to go after the ones that are Bootmapper clients first, just because Bootmapper Client, the app itself is long defunct. WinKeyless closed their doors around 2018, so with them no longer supporting Bootmapper Client, we need VIA to fully replace that. So if you guys get the chance, look for Bootmapper Client boards and do the same procedure. Let's see. Alright, here goes. Alright, that's it. Guys, thank you. Thank you. I will see you on my next stream, possibly this Thursday. I've got a few keyboard chores to do, but if not, then definitely this Saturday. I'll be hopefully building my NK65 budget edition, so tune in for that. Alright guys, have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.